Welcome, members, colleagues, and friends of the IAB. I would like to take a moment, right up front, to tell you that this entire production has been managed by a tiny but dedicated team. Yes, with the invaluable support of 360, our long-serving production professionals, without whom this outstanding event would not be possible. But it's a team of 5 women, Catherine, Debbie, Raina, Karen, and myself, that have worked tirelessly on this event for several months and recently for up to 16 hours a day. Please could I ask you to join me in applauding them for their dedicated service to the IAB and the success of this magnificent event. Thank you. Thank you. This all-female team of dedicated women inspired me this year to aim for a lineup of dynamic women in digital in this, a notoriously male-dominated sector. Today's lineup of females blazing trails in our industry and the men who support them is proof that we are, maybe slowly, but certainly surely, championing diversity in digital. The IAB has had a great many successes over the past year, far too many for me to share with you today, but I've handpicked just a couple of highlights that I think it's important for you to know. In the words of a female I greatly admire, who blazed her own trails in the world of entertainment during an historical acceptance speech recently, Oprah Winfrey acknowledged that the press is under siege these days, but that we also know it's the insatiable dedication to uncovering the absolute truth that keeps us from turning a blind eye to corruption and injustice. I echo her in saying we value the press more than ever before as we try to navigate these complicated times. I salute the legitimate press of South Africa that has been relentless in the pursuit of justice, resulting in the recent new dawn of hope and optimism for our country. Many of those media outlets are members of our Progressive and Active Publisher Council, which held its first fake news and brand safety roundtable late last year. The inaugural task team agreed to ongoing discussion and solution-orientated progress, including the introduction of a digital accreditation to verify IAB members as credible news sources, which our chairman, Chris Bahrain, will share more on later today. Under the dedicated leadership of Mark Duplessis, the Publisher Council's collaboration and support for the Advertising Standards Authority of South Africa and the Press Council, and participation in the fight for free press remains an ongoing focus. Thank you to both the ASA and the Press Council for your invaluable role and for taking time to join us today. One of the highlights this past year was the IAB being a signatory to the issue paper on perspectives of universal free access to online information in South Africa, focusing specifically on free public Wi-Fi and zero-rated content. Driven by both the Publisher and the Regulatory Affairs Councils, we are continuing collaborative talks with the Human Rights Commission in working towards our goal of having access to the internet declared a basic human right. Just imagine the opportunities that could open up for our unemployed youth and how in turn that could address the skills gap in our sector. On the issue of brand safety, we're also working closely with our agency members to champion this with their clients. But because they're increasingly under pressure to deliver better ROI, this remains a constant challenge. So my appeal today to the marketers in the room: how effective is your ROI if your brand is showcased on inappropriate websites and your brand safety cannot be guaranteed? Please support our local digital ecosystem and use trusted IAB publisher and agency members to ensure that your campaigns are displayed in brand-safe environments. With tireless dedication, Paula Hulley has led the Agency Council, which has been instrumental in putting together the categories, criteria, and the judging panel nominees for the 10th annual bookmarks taking place here this evening. Their focus remains on education, guidelines, and best practice, and a close collaboration with the newly constituted Innovation Council in 2018, which will drive thought leadership and networking throughout our membership. The tender process for the measurement partner for the 2018-2021 was headed up by Ryan Smith and the Measurement Council, who volunteered many hours evaluating several tender applications before agreeing to reappoint the incumbent effective measure, subject to the final contract discussions, which are currently in process, and Greg Mason will share a little more on that with you later today. Another appeal to members and role players is from our Research Council. To ensure the 2017 annual PwC online ad spend report is fully supported in meeting its objective to compare the size and growth trajectory of internet revenues to other media. The study is accepted worldwide as the most comprehensive measure of online and mobile advertising, and IAB, sponsor of the annual South African report, is asking all of our members to support our efforts to give the South African media and marketing industry an accurate view of online spend. This will benefit all our members, as it can be used as a strong influencing tool for advertisers who may still be showing caution and underspending in the digital space. The Regulatory Affairs Council focused much of 2015 and 16 on defending free speech online and fighting for continued self-regulation in the media sector. These initiatives have continued throughout 2017, cementing the IAB's position as a significant role player in the future of advertising and self-regulation. Some major accomplishments in 2017 were the formal representation of the IAB on the ASA's interim board and on the Press Council as public representatives. Submissions were made to the Copyright Amendment Bill, the Cybercrimes and Cybersecurity Bill, the POPI Act Market Regulations, and the Film and Publications Amendment Bill. With Publisher Council collaboration, the Regulatory Affairs Council has primarily positioned itself as the voice of the online press and print media generally, in close collaboration with SANEF and the Press Council. This is a huge achievement, which highlights the role that this council plays in the fight for a free press and secures the position of the IAB as a critical role player in the future of the self-regulation of the press. 2018 will see the council continue to work with self-regulatory bodies and the fight for free online communication, and there'll be an increase in sharing expertise with other regulatory bodies to increase pressure in this area. And there are plans to build a compliancy portal for IAB members, exclusive access, but I'll allow our fearless leader, Elizabeth de Stadler, to tell you more about that later on today. Through the Transformation and Education Council, we've progressed the role of IAB as patron of a professional body for digital professionals, and we're now calling on members to support provincial board and subcommittee nominations amongst agencies, publishers, consultants and training providers. We need leaders to stand up within these industry sectors and agree to contribute their time and expertise on behalf of our digital sector for the benefit of all involved. This is our way of demonstrating our ability to self-govern, to prevent undue influence from those not directly involved in the digital space, as well as our willingness to be held accountable both for individuals working for our member companies and for the companies themselves as centres of excellence. It's our way of signalling to the MAC Charter Council that we have the breadth and mandate and capacity to best represent our digital members within the realm of the MAC sector. To move forward, we appeal to you, our members and stakeholders, to become involved for the benefit of our entire sector, to support the work of our professional body's efforts by operationalising the implementation of the services we will be providing through the professional body. In terms of the unique criteria for BBBEE recognition, which we've all accepted by way of the MAC Charter, namely that of responsible marketing, it's now for us to lead the way in defining the parameters and criteria which should be applied in operationalising the responsible marketing element of the MAC sector scorecard. This is our opportunity to take the leadership in what responsible marketing is and how it should be applied in holding our members accountable for compliance against this requirement. There are several more active councils and many more initiatives underway, but in the interest of time and kickstarting our jam-packed lineup for today, please visit iabsa.net for these updates and more. It's been redesigned to create a more user-friendly and member-orientated website, which we hope will become the go-to digital portal for South Africa's digital media and marketers. Exciting additions such as member access to business toolkits and legal documents will be a continued work in progress, and as members, you're invited to share your keywords to optimize your entry. So, as we hit play on this, the 4th Annual Digital Summit, allow me to please acknowledge the sponsors who made this possible. Special thanks to Gumtree, who've supported this event since its inception in 2015, to Accenture Interactive and DSTV Media Sales, both partnering with us for the 2nd year in a row, and to SABC Digital News. Their generosity has afforded us the opportunity to freeze the ticket prices to make this day of digital knowledge accessible to more of you. Please support them and our many support partners in thanks and recognition of this event being made possible because of their belief in the IAB and the growth of our industry. In closing, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your valued support of the IAB and of me personally. I have resigned my post to pursue my passion of empowering communities to address the high youth unemployment and fill the talent gap that exists in our industry. I believe we can do that by training bright young talent while leveraging technology, social innovation, and championing diversity in digital. In order for the digital industry to flourish in South Africa, it needs to transform to reflect the perspectives of all South Africans. As the IAB, we are making a conscious effort to ensure that this diversity is reflected in our councils, in our judging panels, for the bookmarks, and even in our speaker lineup for the Digital Summit. So as I drop my mic with that commitment, I ask that you, the leaders and future leaders in digital, to echo that commitment and make it happen throughout our sector to ensure the ongoing sustainability of our industry. Thank you.